Good evening, all. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Till your good is better and your better is best. First, be the best and then be the first. I'm Professor Ratna from the team GIBS, Business School, Bangalore today. We are all connected virtually for the Gibs Spreading Light of Knowledge webinar series on the topic mindfulness. On behalf of GIBS Business School, Bangalore, I welcome all the participants to this webinar. Before we start, kindly allow me to say a few words about GIBS Business School. GIBS Business School, Global Institute of Business Studies, is a part of Goel Educational Trust and is an exclusive business school. Located in the IT and BT capital of the world, Bangalore, GIBS is an institute of international educational standards. GIBS Business School's PGDM and BBA program are the cutting-edge programs with a difference. GIBS has introduced a series of free national and international webinars, leadership talk series, panel discussions on trending topics called Gibs Spreading the Light of Knowledge. Through Gibs Spreading the Light of Knowledge webinars, panel discussions, and leadership talk series, GIBS aims to to spread the light, to bridge the gap between the classroom learning and the ground realities of the business world by inviting national and international thought leaders who are industry experts, academic luminaries, and entrepreneurs to share their vast array of challenging experiences. These talk series are spread over the course of entire year. Not only do these sessions inculcate a strong proactive relationship between the academia and the industry, but also provide students an opportunity to gain crucial insight into the present market trends, operational challenges by learning from the industry stalwarts themselves before they step into the industry. GIBS has extended its footprint to feature in Forbes India magazine, the world's top leading business magazine. Yes, Forbes India magazine has considered GIBS Business School as the new age BSchool, Business School 2021. GIBS is excited to share that it is also ranked as the 11th best top emerging B School of India for BBA by Times of India B School survey recently. So without much ado, I welcome you all once again to this webinar. And I deem it my privilege to welcome Mr. Ajit Kaikini, the resource person of today's webinar. Sir, Ajit sir, we are very glad that you accepted our invitation to grace this webinar. Happy to welcome you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Learn from the past, prepare for the future. Live your fullest in the present moment without judgment. Be mindful. Research has proved that living in the present moment, paying attention to your mental health and developing a mindfulness practice can help you build a more productive, healthier, and happier, especially at the workplace, contributing to a more fulfilling life. If you are not sure from where to start, how to do it, today we have Mr. Ajit Kaikini amidst us to enlighten us more about mindfulness. Let me introduce our guest, Mr. Ajit Kaikini, to you all. Mr. Ajit Kaikini, basically a pharmacist, is a director, corporate training at Buoyancee. He has a knack of making people to perform better by helping them to discover themselves, enable and monitor to develop the right tools, enhance skills and productive habits, and mentor them to reach their goals. He trains all over in India in 6 languages. Just now he told 10 languages he has already learned, and has been a part of large change initiatives of Adidas, Ajax Foire, Bisleri, Brigade Group, Canara Bank, ITC Group, Lupin Pharma, SBI, and many more blue chip companies. He is able to convince his participants to understand the realities in life, reform and transform them to perform. For ITC, he conducted training in Europe and for the Gulf banks too. With his 15 years of experience in the industry, spanning sales, marketing, production planning, and admin training at top positions in blue chip companies, he is able to connect employees who work in cross functions and make them gel as performing teams. Having a friendly and adaptive nature, he is able to blend with humans across all nations and cultures. He has had the privilege to be of assistance to 10,000s of youth, executives, and the underprivileged all over India and Europe too. He has profiled many underprivileged and students, with aspirations to help them anchor to their potentials for bigger and better possibilities. His T-boy started a school in his village and he got nationally recognized, while his attender could start a business and now owns 3 properties in Bangalore and many more. Privileged students and executives now have an easy way forward with effortless effort through his individual classes. He has conducted schoolings for the Rotary and the Lions executives in 4 states and through their projects empowered over 200,000 teens and youth all over India. Buoyancee, which was started by his wife Sadhana and himself, is in its 27th year and has been recognized nationally and internationally many times over. Apart from training over 50,000 parents and 25,000 teachers all over India, he had the privilege to conduct training for over 2,500 engineering college lecturers through the World Bank aided TEQIP, that is Technical Education Quality Improvement Project in Karnataka and Goa. Sir, I will cut short your profile now. It is, really the commendable service you have given to the, world. And now, we are all eager to, listen to you. Over to you, sir.
Okay, good evening to you, Professor Ratna, and to all the participants. Believe me, just discount all what Professor Ratna said, because finally you cannot drive a car looking in the rear mirror. What I've done in the past is of no use, because this 1 hour, if I'm not able to do justice to you, then there's no use. My dear friends, as beautifully put, everything is mindful. Everything is now. A person who learns how to create the wow in the now, the problem is how. And if you learn that how in the now to create the wow, there is nobody on earth who cannot be a success. I've been experimenting this for the last 30 years and for the last 27 years, very successfully. I've picked to see whether it works. People from the road, the attender Professor Ratna was talking about, picked him from the road. He was sleeping on the road. And today, my dear friends, it is so nice to see that people in the school and college and in companies are told you should improve. You know how competitive the world is? You should do well. You should do better. My dear friends, we become bitter and fall in the well. The problem is where to change and how to change. Who tells that? Every year, my boss is to call me and tell me, Ajit, no, you should improve. You should do well. Nobody told me. My school teacher, my principal, everybody tells the same thing. So I decided I'm going to find out how am I going to direct people. And with your permission, my dear friends, I'm going to use a PPT. But before I proceed, I want to get a few questions from you. Okay? What is our expectation out of this program so that this old man may be outdated, because I am 65, but of course I'm in touch with a lot of companies because I work with individuals. My dream is build individuals, build industries, build India. So when I build individuals, the whole thing changes. So I want you to type your questions in the chat box, and I'm going to connect with it, my dear friends, because then you will feel, oh no, this man is talking what is relevant to me. So please, questions in your chat box. If you ask me, what are you looking out for? And if you can ask me, then I'll wait for 10 more, 15 more seconds, because you'll be typing your questions. What is your expectation out of this program? If you're able to write it, good. Otherwise, I continue with my class. Okay, good evening, Rajiv Balkrishna. Yes, good evening. To learn and understand mindfulness and how to apply in our life. Yes, I'm going to talk about it. Thank you, Sanjay Kumar Singh. Anybody else? To learn and understand. Look at the wonderful thing Sanjay Kumar has written. To learn and understand. What about implement, man? Okay, Sanjay, implementation is very important. The biggest problem is we understand a lot of things. Mindful living, Sunita Narsin is telling. Mindful living, yes, my dear friends, very, very vital. To stay focused on my goals and not to be distracted. Yes, it's very, very important, if you learn that, wonderful things will happen. I think. Good evening, sir. Ravi Prakash. Okay. So I think any other question? How do I go up? Yeah. So that's it. So I'll start now. Good, I'll keep that in mind and I'll connect it. My dear friends, now we are going to discuss something very, very lively. And I want to show you what is mindfulness through a very intricate clipping. And the clipping is, just watch it. And I want you to tell me, this is a clipping of a person who was a daredevil and who wanted to show what is taking intelligent and calculated risk. Just watch it and your entire talk is going to be based on this. Okay, just watch it. It's fantastic. My dear friends, this is one clipping. Anybody who comes and tells me, sir, I'm scared, I don't have the courage. You know what I do? Look at the word courage. Rage is anger. Courage means coupling your energy of anger. Please understand, anger is an energy. Okay? And if somebody is taught how to convert this lightning energy into electrical energy, you know what happens? There is nobody on earth who cannot achieve. The problem is, I don't know how to get courage. People have only been told, be courageous. Hey, there is an art, there is a science, there is a system. And if somebody is taught that, there is nobody who cannot achieve. So what we do is, we make people to list down those things which have fear, doubt, worry, insecurity. Create anger in themselves for being a mediocre. Show them that they are born out of the winning sperm, born to win, but conditioned to be losers. Dear friends, we have tremendous energy in us, tremendous impact we can create. So please realize, there is nobody on earth who can stop you except your own self. And if you want to rise above mediocrity, there's only one person, and that is your mind. Your mind. That is why that beautiful, if you mind it, you can do it. So let's understand, my dear friends, what is this? Now, this man is surfing here while most are suffering in that same wave. I've taken my staff to Kovalam beach because many people in Bangalore have not seen a beach. So I took my staff to Kovalam beach, and some of them around 50 years had come in saris, sitting there 20 feet away from the wave, and suddenly one big wave came, banged them, they rolled around, and believe me, my dear friends, in that same wave, there were people surfing, and my staff here, 3 of them sitting there, were suffering. That was an eye-opener for me, that there are people who wait for large waves, be enjoying, whereas there are some people who are playing safe and security. Today, those people, my dear friends, who are so-called privileged, are creating underprivileged children. The reason is, instead of making them mindful, they are making them safe, safety zone. जो डर गया सो मर गया, लेकिन वो डर को जीत कैसे बनाना है? We have to teach them how to convert the fear into, fear is the source of anger. Fear is the source of courage. So where are you directing yourself? And therefore, my dear friends, please understand, thought is the energy source. What type of thought am I creating? What quality of thinking is there in me? Thought and thinking, vibration creators. What is the quality of your thought? What is the purity in your thinking? And these are the two things which create magic and miracles in your life. If it is positive, you will only experience mysteries in life. If it is negative, misery in life. And therefore, my dear friends, just like electricity can convert water into cold water or hot water, what type of water are you converting in your life? Are you using your energies to experience misery, or are you using it for mystery? The power and the energy is the same. Only thing is, nobody has taught these things. And therefore, my dear friends, look at the word optimism. The first thing which we do at our place is develop optimism. Opt means to choose. The only freedom a person has is choice. I didn't decide my parents. I didn't decide to be a male. I didn't decide to be born in a chal almost as good as a slum. But my dear friends, today where I am will depend on the choices which I've made in the past. Tomorrow where I go will depend on the choices which I make today. And therefore, please learn to opt, choose positively, properly. Proper, pro means that which will take you further. Per means through, properly. So when you do choose properly by observing, optimism is belief in the self. My dear friends, this word is very powerful. Develop optimism in people and see what happens. We don't know how to choose. Because every time I chose and I made a mistake, why did you make a mistake? Next time, without telling me, don't do. But when in my company somebody does a mistake, I clap. They are given more increments. The reason is, who makes mistake? A person who tries new things, but no repeating mistakes. It's very clear. Anybody who makes mistakes is recognized. Anybody who doesn't make mistakes is a person who is in routines. They are in patterns. They will never grow. And we don't want leaders and managers who don't make mistakes, but don't repeat mistakes. The question is, my dear friends, we say experience is the best teacher, but how do we get experience? Through mistakes. And we're not allowed to do it. And therefore, my dear friends, if you're mindful, you will make less mistakes or mistakes which are not very much loss-making. However, if you are mindful, you will learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, you'll get depressed with your mistakes. Therefore, my dear friends, you look at your brain. And the functional part of your brain is your mind. We need to align it. We need to arrange it, organize it. We need to stabilize it. And all this is only possible if we are mindful. My dear friends, choice decides whether you celebrate or you tolerate. Single word, my dear friends, choice. The first thing is choose mindfully. Choose mindfully. My staff, all of them, right intelligence in the right place. Am I taking a staff because of qualifications or qualities? Qualification is outside, qualities is inside. And therefore, qualification needs to be powered with qualities, mindfully. And such a person achieves. Academics powered by dynamics. And then there is magic which will take place. Because when I was in school and college, I always wondered, how is it people who are on the top echelon, why is it that they don't have degrees? Then I realized a person with qualification, if he develops qualities, he can become formidable. Formidable. And you all are very lucky you have academics, you have the qualifications. How am I going to power myself with the dynamics, the qualities is very, very important. And that can only be done, my dear friends, if your thought is having clarity and your thinking is having purity. And this is only possible, my dear friends, if you are mindful, which is conscious, positive attention. I'm going to show you one case, not of an adult, but of a child, how, mindfully from a no-no, they have become a big people. And therefore, my dear friends, what are the learnings from this wave? Number one, accept and respect what is. If I do not accept, I will not respect. People who are accepting and respecting that which is, they will wonder rather than having a wandering mind. The number one rule of mindfulness is have a wandering mind, the wow in the now, and it will give you ideas. When there is a wow in the now, if this surfer is bothered about the huge wave coming, he will be swallowed. So what did he do? He wondered, okay, the wave moves like this. It has a particular pattern. There is a particular practice I need to develop. And if you see, he is at a 15-degree tangent. And as the wave is growing, he is pushed to the right because the wave to the right is low. And this he studied. And therefore, when you wonder, you get answers. If you are wandering, and you get overwhelmed, you're lost. And therefore, my dear friends, it's very essential that instead of complaining, I start contemplating. Energy is same, whether you are contemplating or complaining, you need time, energy, attention, resources. TEAR, very important word. TEAR, time, energy, attention, and resources. If you invest it, you'll have tears of happiness in you. If you waste it, you'll have tears of sadness. So are you using it to complain? Then you're wasting it. Are you using it to contemplate? Then you're utilizing it. And then, my dear friends, you get ideas. It will nourish your nature and flourish natural qualities. And that's the beauty of it. Then, if you see here, adversity and vulnerability is converted into adventure and versatility. That's the beauty. And therefore, my dear friends, if you can realize that anybody on earth, if you are able to feel the pulse of the adversity, you will never be vulnerable. He studied how the wave comes, how the wave engulfs. From where does it start engulfing? Mindfully, he has afterwards used it. And that is possible if you expand your attitude and enrich your knowledge and traits. What are the attitudes I need to develop? How do I get to know the pattern of this wave? And therefore, my dear friends, this particular formula can be used anywhere. Capability from capacity and compatibility for credibility. Look at this word compatibility. Yeah? If there is one old song, all of you must have heard. Mile sur mera tumhara, to sur bane hamara. What does it mean? Unless my heart and the head is together, I cannot align myself with the outside world. If majority of the people I find today when I go to companies, they wait for weekend because their head is in the work, heart is not in the work. When the heart and the head is not compatible in what the hand is doing, then there is a problem. And therefore, I can solve this problem when I put disciplined effort to enable the tools and enhance my skills. And therefore, the task, TASK, have I enabled my tools? Have I expanded my attitude? Have I enhanced my skills? Have I enriched my related knowledge? I'm talking about related knowledge. Okay. So once I do that, there is nobody on earth who cannot achieve. Take charge to lead change. Be a commando. Am I in charge of my life? My dear friends, please understand that these 5 C's are the basic requirements to become a commando. Commando only means taking charge of your life. Do I have clarity about myself, my intelligence, my strengths, my weaknesses, my talents, all this? Nobody, we are very happy when we get marks if you remember how many planets are there and what is the arrangement. But a person who masters this planet is the person who masters life. And therefore, mindfully master this life. And my dear friends, look at the word unique. Unique you, nobody in front of me, nobody behind me. Okay, I don't want to go into details, but we are made up of 24 elements. If I give everybody tea powder, same company, same box, sugar, same company, water, 2 people, let them make, and weighing scale, tea will not taste same, nor the cooking, because we are unique. We are made up of 24 elements. So unless you know this person very well, your productivity will not be having performance excellence. Product. Pro means that it will take you further. The activity which will produce something which is of high standards. Performance. Per means through. Form. We have a physical form, a mental form, a energy form. Are these forms aligned when you are working? And then universe, a single verse is written, my dear friends, you become a master of that. And therefore, I need to engage myself, my heart and the head and the hand, engage it. You align it, and then you become like a magnet. When the ions in an iron rod are aligned, they become a magnet. But we have not aligned our heart and the head and the hand. And therefore, my dear friends, when you engage and expand your attitude, you know what happens? You emerge into a new being. My father used to sell agarbattis on Grant Road Railway Station, Mumbai. And he always told me, Ajit, I cannot give you the facilities which others are having. But yes, I'm going to teach you how to create your own faculties inside you. You work on your faculties and master this life. And he only taught me how to work on my faculties. And that is the most magical thing I learned during my young days. Now I use it for everybody. So what is the state of mind, my dear friends? My mindset. We are all born as human beings. And I find a lot of people moving around with a t-shirt ever since Amir Khan wore, being human is more important. What's the meaning of that? My dear friends, simple is being human means stop reacting, start responding, and start realizing the realities in life. But unfortunately, we are only moving around with t-shirts. Intellectually, we know everything. Practically, we have a problem doing it. And therefore, just like our mobile requires a SIM card, we have a SIM card. And what are those SIM cards? My sense organs, intelligence, and mind. Okay? Please understand this word intelligence is different. It's not intellect. Intellect is what you gather from your books, what you gather from outside. This I realized very late in life, that if a Lakshmi Mittal without a BE metallurgical engineering can become the largest manufacturer of steel, or maybe even Steve Jobs without entering an engineering college, if I can come out with ideas for iPhone, is because of intelligence, not because of intellect. So if I am making a mistake, please come back to reality. Intelligence is more important than the intellect. Intellect is collected from books and experiences. Intelligence is a gift of God, a talent, which helps you to breathe, which helps you to digest. You just simply connect with that intelligence and see where you go, my dear friends. But this is never told, and that only happens through mindful practices. So we have Panchindriya and Panch Karmindriyas. This Panchindriya and Panch Karmindriya's job is the senses, 5 senses. Let us suppose a mosquito sits on your hand. It first tells the intelligence. And the intelligence says 1 minute, 1 minute. The mind is a functional part. Let us both find out what it is. And the mind and the intelligence, they interpret. And then the intelligence tells mosquito, it will give malaria, filaria, maybe corona. Hit! So mind gives instructions to the karmendriya and the hand hits. That is how a system works. So when the SIM card, how it works, I'm not able to give you full explanation because of the time paucity. But if you master this, my dear friend, you see the quality of performance excellence which starts coming only if you master this small thing. And the mind, unfortunately, it always works on memory. I'll tell you how it works on memory. I was taking a class for executives and I said, I'm going to tell you 7 objects. Whatever first comes to your mind, right? So my first object was rose. Somebody wrote color, somebody wrote God, somebody wrote, thorn, somebody wrote fragrance. And then I told blood. And somebody wrote red, somebody wrote life, somebody wrote murder. And when I saw the person who wrote murder was the person who wrote thorn. So depending on the thoughts you get in your mind, I am able to study what exactly is your thought process and your belief process. When you study that, we can tell you how you can improve by changing the SIM card. But unfortunately, this methodology has not been mastered by people. And therefore, what happens is we are not able to direct people because the memory not only works, but my imagination is, what is the meaning of imagination? The images which have been impregnated in my mind previously, it creates a nation and it doesn't allow me to go out because that is my intellect. And those create my perceptions. And because of the perceptions, the answers written by people is what it is written. My house is 13 kilometers from Malleshwaram. Okay. But when I ask a group of, let us suppose, some training is going on here. How far is Malleshwaram from this place? Somebody will write 13 kilometers. Somebody will write 235 rupees. Somebody will write 45 minutes. The answer which you gives introduces you to me with respect to your quality of thoughts and the purity in thinking. That further is broken down, and with mindful action, we come to know what your beliefs and belief systems are. And a person can be brought into a beautiful mindfulness if this analysis is done. And but, my dear friends, apart from this, there are more things which destroy the person's thinking, and that is the quality of self-image, the fear, the doubt, the insecurity, the worry, and the desire. And therefore, when I started working on my T-boy, he was my first experiment. I asked him, what do you want to become? And he said he wants to become a lorry driver. Why? Because he was a lorry cleaner. And he cannot think beyond that lorry driver. So I thought, let me find out whether I can work on the mindset of this person, make him to think big and take him to places. My dear friends, I was very happy. Within 8 years, I reached that position wherein he got a national award. Same thing I did with my attender. Helped him to start a business. And today he has 3 properties in Bangalore worth crores. That is the power of mindfulness living. But unfortunately, nobody talks the power of the mind. We are not taught how to. They only tell us, have a positive mindset. Okay, man, tell me how. So that is never told. So, I was very fascinated by the story of Ramayana. I realized this Dasharath, this is a Ratha. The 5 Indriyas and 5 Karmendriyas is Dasharath. And a person who develops skill out of this. So Kaushalya is the wife of Dasharath. I was fascinated. I went a little deeper, and then I found that if somebody is able to develop Kaushalyata, that means productive habits, that is instinct. Every species on earth have fixed instincts. A snake will only sting, fixed instinct. A dog will bite and bark, fixed instinct. But a human can create productive habits in the name of instincts. How? By understanding the reality. But I am taught how to put people under me and stand above them by coming first in class. Mindfulness is blending with people and not bending people. Mindfulness is blending the minds, yours and mine. Hey, we are the same. Your body is also the earth, the same food we eat from the same farm. We are breathing the same air. We are drinking the same water. Don't forget, mile sur mera tumhara. But the divine is my mind. And a person who is trained to take the mind in control. Don't forget, my dear friends, that beautiful prayer. Humko man ki shakti dena, man vijay kare. दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे हमको मन की शक्ति देना. We are not taught how to use the power of our mind to conquer our mind. That is the big problem. And that is why, my dear friends, I realized that there is an intuition, a tuition coming from within. And I thought nobody gives importance to it. Why is it given so much importance? Everybody talks about it, but nobody teaches. And therefore, I found, I'm a pharmacist, as told by Professor Ratna. I found that the brain's convolutions are same like my intestines, convoluted. Wow, gut feeling. And so I started mastering the gut feeling. Intuition, tuition coming from inside of you. Your brain is corrupted by the mind because the mind is society's. The society corners it, encapsulates it. But your gut feeling is the true feeling, my dear friends. And therefore, the gut feeling is propelled by wisdom. And the day you are taught how to connect with the intuition, and that comes through mindfulness. So sad that mindfulness is so important, but nobody teaches us. Okay? And therefore, my dear friends, Ramayana means, Ra means king, Ra means light, Ma means me, Yana means pathway. A person who can take charge of himself and create a pathway as per his intelligence, nobody on earth can stop him. Nobody. You know, when I take companies, let us say Distillery 500 ml launch all over the country was through me. So the first thing I do is I take the managers, profile them and find out where the follies and problems are. And then when they're aligned, magic happens. Today it's #1 brand, just Ramayana. My dear friends, Ra means light, king, power, rule. Ma means me, Yana means way. And light within. And how do you capture this? Through Hanuman. Hanuman is Pavanaputra. 2500 years back, Buddha told, Anapana Sati. A person who can learn the art of managing the breath, they are able to corner the mind. You must have seen when you're angry, your breath changes. When you're sad, your breath changes. Your breath and mind are connected. And therefore, we need Hanuman's help, the Pavanaputra, the Pavan. Anapana Sati. Ana means breathing in. Apana means to breathe out. Sati means to focus mindfully. And when you are able to connect with your mind, connect with yourself, beautiful things happen. And Ravana is king of Vana, the ego and greed. You have to dissolve this. We need ego, but how much is too much? Just like we need voltage, but extra voltage can burn your bulb. Extra petrol won't start your car. We should know how much ego, how much is too much. And Lakshman is jo man ke upar laksh rakhta hai. Lakshman, you have to keep a goal on that mind, the Sita. Sita is the mind. And Sita is in Ayodhya, jahan yuddha nahi hai. Ayodhya, the mind is always in yuddha, in turmoil, in trouble, distraction, disrupted. And therefore, my dear friends, we need to take focus about these things. And that is possible when you first use Shatrugna. Okay? How? By aligning your intelligence and intellect and Shatrugna, jo Shatru ko nash karta hai. I was fascinated by this whole story and connected with life. Believe me, my dear friends, if you are able to use this one page, take a screenshot, use it. It's very easy. You just have to apply your mind, think about it, ponder over it, contemplate. Okay, instead of complaining, and you will have Bharata. Bharat means Bhava, Raga, Tala. They all align and you are in sync only by doing this mindful practice. This one page will tell you a whole lot of things. I don't know whether I should proceed further. Professor Ratna has to tell me because I can use one more slide. It's going to take another 10 minutes. Is that okay? Professor Ratna?
Yes, sir. It's okay. Yeah, we can take one more, sir. Another 10 minutes.
Yeah. So look at this boy. You know, he wanted to be a cricket player and he had a clear purpose. He had clarity. He has no hands, mind you, but he's a captain. Just listen to this. I just want to tell you, my dear friends, there are many such people who do mindful practices. Okay? They don't sit and complain. When I ask the people who come to me, can you imagine anybody playing cricket without hands? And they first say, no, not possible. Can you imagine he being the captain of his team? They can't imagine. My dear friends, every morning, 4 o'clock, for 3 months, he tried holding the ball with his feet. And when he swings it, because you have to swing the ball when you're bowling, he spins it. That's the beauty of it. And that can only happen when you have a purpose with clarity. When you are positivity and develop courage. You know your potentials, automatically commitment come. And you have preparedness for consistency, my dear friends. Look at the starting of each word. P this side, C that side. You have a PC and the PC is your mind. My dear friends, if you can learn the art of using your PC as your mind, there is nobody on earth, my dear friends, who can stop you. You just have to understand that people who are able to corner their mind, they are prepared to pay the price called practice because they respect the price for gain, which is strive, sacrifice, strain, and suffer. And if you do not accept this and you go for comfort, procrastination is going to be your friend in the long run. What you don't use, you lose. दुनिया जिसे कहते हैं जादू का खिलौना है, मिल जाए तो मिट्टी है, ना मिले तो सोना है. Please learn how to balance strive, sacrifice, strain, and suffer. The coal will become diamond only through suffering. Mindful suffering. Mindfulness is very powerful, my dear friends. Unfortunately, time factor, otherwise I would have taught you a lot of things. What is mindfulness? Empower yourself through your mind. But your mind is the source and the force to upgrade and upskill. You have to use the energy of the mind itself. So in the mind, if you see, there is a consciousness, and then you have discrimination, and then you have ego. The day your mind collaborates with ego, life is gone. The day your mind collaborates with consciousness, it becomes mindful. And therefore, the base should be this. We need all, but the base should be consciousness. And the day you are consciously approaching, you'll be able to next jump to discrimination, and ego will propel you. This is a beautiful combination. And therefore, work to be an individual, no duality, indivisible. No, you're not indivisible, no duality. Identity is your denting your eye. My dear friends, people who propel with ego will always land into problem. And therefore, today onwards, please understand the me as a collection of tools. My whole body is a tool, but I need to convert it into a tool. You know, sadhan. But हम धन के पीछे भागते हैं. साधन, मन और तन को साधन बनाओ. And convert your talents. They are latent. You have to convert it into a skill. The talent has to be converted into a skill through time, energy, attention, resource. Temperament is your EQ, and your AQ, adversity quotient. Develop the traits. Make a list. What is my job? As I told you, clarity. What are my properties? What is my job? If there is clarity, automatically commitment comes, courage comes. My dear friends, these four lead to tendencies, and therefore, I just need to collect tips, tools, techniques, and technology. These are available everywhere. But what you need to do is the first four. If systematically you approach your plans and processes and automate it, please understand, automate means develop productive habits, and then your mind becomes an operator. Please understand, your breathing is operated, your digestion is operated, your evacuation is operated. There's a God in us, Aham Brahmasmi, G for generator, O for operator, D for destroyer. They are in us. Only thing is, we should know how to connect with that. And it's very easy. Last 27 years, officially, unofficially, 30 years. My job is to help people to find out their basic intelligence, connect it with their intellect. We are only, intellect is our qualification. Intelligence is the you. And therefore, my dear friends, when intellect requires only memory, if your memory is sharp, you'll get marks. Okay? But intelligence is that which gives you intuitions and creates interest in your work. If you do not show interest in your work and you're not getting ideas, intuitions, ideation, innovation, renovation, creation comes from intelligence, not from intellect. Please understand this. Intelligence gives you vision and involvement, whereas intellect only gives you imagination. And therefore, my dear friends, please understand, the mind quality will depend on the clarity in your thought, purity in your thinking. I'll just consolidate now. If you are wanting to take your mind in control, take a breath in control every day. I wanted to give you an experience, but there's no time. Every day, learn to take charge of your breath. At the age of 65, my dear friends, my physical energy, mental energy is everything. There's a physical body, energy body, mental body, intellectual body, and your existential body. Align these 5 bodies and see where you go. Your qualities will depend upon the proportion and spread of your elements. Please understand this power inside you. Your behavior, only humans can change the behavior. Animals cannot change the behavior. You need humans to change. I have a dog. He changes. I have to work on him to change his behavior. What's the meaning of behavior? What you be with what thought you have in your mind is behave. So humans can discriminate, discipline, determine, and devote. These are the 4 Ds which can change your life, my dear friends. And that comes only through mindfulness. And therefore, your character, values, principles, patterns can be mentored and monitored. And we need accountability partners. Your characteristics, enhance your traits, tools, attitude, expand your attitude, skills, and knowledge. And my dear friends, if in your life, if you plan, practice, perform to excel mindfully, nobody on earth can stop you. Life, don't forget, you're born to win, conditioned to be loser. Please understand the reality and go and simply achieve. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't cross much time.
No, sir. I know it was really, we feel like, keep on listening to you. I don't know, how the time flew, and it became 5:52 already, So it was really, it looks very short, it is, and lot of things, for us to dwell on, to think on, to work on. So that was really, that commendable. And thank you so much, sir. Sir, can we take few questions now quickly?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, Shanu Kumar asked, how to measure and track mindfulness?
Yeah. See, what happens is, let us first understand, mindfulness is something which is very, very subjective. Mind is not something which is quantifiable. It is a feeling. And I find a lot of people, even a lot of IT engineers come and they ask me, can you give me a flow chart? First week, what will happen? Second week, what will happen? I simply ask them, can you tell me how much you love your wife? Can you quantify that? So what happens is we should know where to measure, where not to measure. Because mind fluctuates and measurement will not fluctuate. A thermometer will give you a temperature wherever you are in Bangalore, same temperature. But you are driving from here to, Brigade Road, and your mind will keep fluctuating. So we can't measure something which fluctuates, like a weathercock.
Yes.
Don't go to measure.
Sir. Yeah.
Simply take your mind in control. Even if you do it 1% per month, you know where you will go, my dear friend. You take my case. My father used to sell agarbattis. We lived in a chal in Mumbai, 12 feet by 10 feet room. 15 of us lived. Today, I have a 2,000 square feet bungalow only by conquering my mind. So learn to conquer your mind. Don't bother about measuring it. You will feel it. Now you have attended my class, you're going to feel it. How can you measure?
Okay. Yes, very true, sir. Very true. So next question is from Rajiv Balakrishnan. What are the physical health benefits of mindfulness?
Yeah. See, what happens is manomaya kosha, psychosomatic. When my mind is disturbed, the chemicals I release. See, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a simple example. I'm sleeping on the bed. 2 o'clock in the night, I feel I'm falling from a mountain. My mind is thinking and my hand is thrown out. Hey, how did it happen? My mind controls my body. So if my mind has negative thoughts, my mental energy is converted into chemical energy, because feeling energy, feeling converts into chemical energy. Adrenaline is released. Adrenaline pumped into every cell of your body. Hand is thrown out. So manamoya kosha. If your mind is negative, the body will become negative.
Okay. Yeah, very true. That is the power of, the positivity. If we practice positivity, and the mindfulness, the mindset, is everything.
I'll give you an example. This is my 7th class since 5:30 in the morning. So my energy doesn't go down because of my mindful practices. So what happens is 15 minutes before this class, I will do my mindful practice. My energy is back. I'll give you an example how I do it. However tired you are, let us suppose Professor Ratna is very tired. She's going home, dragging herself. She cannot lift her legs. And suddenly I see her, Professor Ratna, mad dog behind you. What is going to happen to Professor Ratna? From where did the energy come? From where did the speed come? And that is the power of the mind. Yes. The mind has 3 to 4 times more energy capacity than your physical body. And therefore, if you are able to control your mind, you control your whole life. Okay?
Yes.
Realize this. Absolutely.
And clear. Also one more thing, I note down, it was the breath, everything, how to have a control on the 5 bodies and the breath, which you told. I think that also works.
Yeah, Professor Ratna, please understand, prana means life, prana means breath. One goes a life. Yes. Look, take the word spirus. Spirus in Spanish is life, breath. That which goes in and out is spiral. And those expect the spirus in everybody are spiritual. Actually, these words are not explained to everybody.
Okay, yeah. Yes. So okay, we'll move on to the next question. That is, sir, what is the difference between mindset and skill set? Ask Arya P.
Yeah. See, you need a mindset to develop your skill set. Okay. Skill set is creating a body mind. Actually, according to our Shastras, the mind is in every cell of your body. Okay, manomaya kosha. But according to European thing, the mind is in the head. It doesn't, mind is everywhere. So, skill set is developed by a body. It becomes a muscle memory, like cycling. Okay? Like cycling. When I cycle for the first time, I'm unconscious about my incompetence. Okay, I see Professor Ratna cycling. Hey, Professor Ratna, what is this, man? And she says, it's a cycle. Oh, wow. Can I also learn? And I'm unconscious about my incompetence. So Professor Ratna gives me, and I forget riding. I can't even climb on the cycle. So I become conscious about my incompetence. Second stage. Then Professor Ratna says, don't worry, you sit down, I'll hold the seat. So now I'm conscious about my competence. I say, move around. That is the third stage. After 10 days, I become unconscious about my competence. And that I require mind to reach the fourth stage. So mindfully, I reach the fourth stage and that becomes a muscle memory. Then I don't require the mind. Got it?
Got it, sir. That is a very, good example to understand. A simple one, but very effective. So the
Thank you.
next question is from Neha Kumari. Does mindfulness help with anxiety?
Oh, yes. Anxiety means my expectation not met. Okay. When I'm mindful, I accept the reality. When I'm mindful, I accept the reality. But if I'm not mindful, my expectation becomes anxiety. Anxiety becomes frustration. Frustration becomes anger. Anger becomes aggression. And if I'm not vocal, it goes into depression.
Okay. Yes.
Got
And
it?
it is very difficult to come out if it goes,
Yes,
it
yes.
becomes deep.
But
Yeah.
suppose people say, don't get angry. Foolish. What do you mean, don't get angry? My formula is expectation should be, have expectation, but respect acceptance of realities. Expectation should be a benchmark. Acceptance should be the way of life.
That's greatly so. So a lot to ponder over. Lot to ponder. So yeah. So next question from Sneha Vaidya. Thank you for this wonderful session, GIPers. My question would be how to manage the fears of time flying. The fear of failures or not reaching the expected mark is amplified when I realize the amount of time that gets invested in working towards something.
Okay, I'll give you a simple example, nothing to worry. TASK. I want to send a mail. And I used to take 10 minutes to send a mail. Why? My English was bad. So a tool called English was suboptimal. My typing speed was bad. So I developed typing speed. Today, my typing speed is 125 characters per minute. So did I manage time or did I manage myself? I developed a tool called English. I'm from a Marathi medium. So my English was suboptimal. It was very bad. I used to make grammatical mistakes and I used to get it corrected. By the time my mail went, it was a long time. But then I worked on my tool called English. I worked on my skill called typing and automatically my tasks improved. And my dear friends, please stop time management, do self-management, and you see your time will be created.
Oh, great, great. So really, hope, so we have so many questions there, because of the time constraint, we cannot take, more questions. Certainly, we will, send all those, questions to you by mail, so that, and also the mail IDs of the, the person who is asking those questions so that, they can get the answers, to their mail ID. Sir, is it possible?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. So shall we wind up, sir, for the day?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It's left to you.
Thank you so much, sir. So, good evening once again, everyone. That was really, the really, I don't know, it is breathtaking, and it was so much of, how much mind, we have used, how much of mindfulness we have used. We have to question ourselves, introspect. Let's go and introspect. So, allow me to propose the vote of thanks. Being thankful, mindful, and expressing gratitude is an important part of being happy in life. Mr. Ajit Kaikini, sir, grateful thanks. Thank you for enlightening us about mindfulness. Thank you for all those useful tips and information. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All the best and prayers for everyone's success, happiness, wellness.
Yes, sir. On behalf of the GIBS also, the GIBS Business School, Bangalore, I extend my sincere thanks and best wishes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. I thank the team of GIBS for their extensive support and effort, to be the best. Thank you, team GIBS. A big thank you to all the dear participants. You are really, your overwhelming responses, and every time, your inspiration, you inspire us, to bring in, such, personalities to you. And because of your motivation only, we would be able to do this. Thank you so much. GIBS is known for its knowledge sharing and its hospitality. Experience it by visiting our campus. Sir, Mr. Ajit Kaikini, sir, we also extend, an invitation to you as well to visit our campus.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes. I bet, you will love the state-of-art corporate infrastructure, and you also love the meeting the team of innovative minds at GIBS who believes in spreading and the power of positivity. Look forward for your visit. You can watch the video of all the previous webinars in YouTube. Note this also will take time and we will put it in YouTube. And the e-certificate of the webinar will be sent to your registered mail ID by 23rd September to all the participants. Will receive e-certificate by 23rd September, that is by day after tomorrow. And not to miss the upcoming webinars, please register as early as possible, limited entries. Our next webinar is on 28th September 2021 at 5 p.m. The webinar is on the topic, Essentials of Transition from Academic to Corporate Career. The guest speaker is Ms. Prija Sridhar, Leadership Coach at MU Sigma Inc. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, Facebook. Walk along with us to create new milestones. Have a great evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.